Hey everyone, Jackson Hayes here. So, quick little thing before we start. You might notice there's no lapel mic anymore, which means I got a new mic, and that's the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. I got it on this nice boom arm, and what's fantastic about this is that it is going directly into the camera, which means I don't have to sync the audio in post, which is such a pain, especially because Canon often has the 4 gigabyte limit for the files, so often there'll be 2 files. I sync it to the first one, then I have to line it up properly and all this messy stuff in post, whereas this just makes it all super easy, which I'm quite excited about. But today we are not talking about mics, we are talking about what's on my iPhone for this month. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I want to make this a regular thing. There was that whole computer issue and summer happened and all that fun stuff, but I really want to make this a regular thing, so hopefully expect this one next month, and I'll probably do an Android version next month, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, this month we're talking about what's on my iPhone for the month of October. So the first app I want to talk about is called Toggle. Now, let me give you a little bit of backstory. So around the beginning of summer, I was feeling incredibly unproductive. I was lazy. It was hard for me to stay motivated with school, like homework. I'm homeschooled, so everything's homework. But with school, with work, making YouTube videos or web development, it was just hard for me to stay productive, to stay busy. So that was kind of something in my mind as I went to go to work at that local motor company, which I've mentioned on this channel a couple times, a couple videos. But while I was working there, I was listening to podcasts, and one of those podcasts talked about time tracking. Now, time tracking, as you might have guessed, is tracking your time. Now, there's a couple ways to go about this. The first way is to just track your work hours and time versus your non-work, just recreational or just anything that's not work, right? So you have these two different breakdowns. You can see how much you're working each day, how much you're not. The other way to do it, it's a little bit more extreme, is to track literally everything that you do. So as soon as I wake up, I track, how long I'm eating breakfast. And then I go and track how long I'm answering emails, and then how long I'm doing chores, how long I'm doing school, how long I'm doing YouTube. Everything is tracked. It's a lot of work to do this because you have to remember every single task. Okay, I'm switching tasks, so now I need to go stop that timer, start the new one. Sometimes I'll forget. I'm not the best at switching these timers. So then I'll be like, oh man, I have to update that. So I'll go back, edit some of the entries because my breakfast will be 3 hours long. That obviously didn't happen. And so, I have to go back and edit them. But yeah, it's fantastic. I use this app called Toggle, and it's a fantastic app. It's not the best app in the world. It does have some bugs. On iOS, it's okay. Sometimes I have to force quit it a few times or whatever to get it to work. But it's the best for what I've seen. They have a great student discount where you get all the pro features for free, which is fabulous. And so I've been using that a lot. Tracking tasks granularly helps me a ton to see how my day breaks down and how long it takes me to complete each project. Often when we try to guess how long it takes to complete something, we often guess a little bit too short of a time. It often takes us a lot longer. So having some real data really helps us plan ahead and schedule our day accordingly. The Toggle app is fantastic for doing this. It's not the greatest app in the world, but it is the best platform I've found for doing time tracking. All the others seem kind of janky, whereas this one is the best, but it's not amazing. However, the developers are doing an incredible work with software updates and new features and stuff. They're working on a new iOS app that's in alpha stage, so I haven't even tried it, but from what I've heard, it's amazing. And they have an Android app. It's also on the web. I use it mainly on the web because it's just the easiest interface to do things with, but you can also do it on your phone, which obviously I have it on my iPhone, and it can do pretty much everything that the desktop app can. I think it can do everything, maybe minus a couple features, but overall for time tracking, you can do everything on the iPhone. It's awesome. So the next app that I have on my iPhone is called Shortcuts, and now this app originally was an app called Workflow. What Workflow was this kind of automation for iOS. You could create these little workflows that you could script out and have open different apps and take screenshots and deal with data and pull data from the internet and all sorts of crazy stuff. But then Apple acquired it, and people were a little worried because they're Apple might mess it up and try to dumb it down, but no, they didn't. They made it just as powerful, even more powerful than it was as Workflow when it wasn't an iOS app. Or it wasn't an Apple-made iOS app. And now that it's part of the system, it has a ton of new features, and it makes automation for iOS really awesome. So as far as the shortcuts that I use personally, I don't use a whole lot of them. I have a lot of them because I pulled a bunch from the internet, but I never ended up removing them, so there's just a ton. My favorite ones, there's this one called iPhone 10 Screenshot maker thing where it'll take a screenshot and put a device frame around it, which is really awesome. Another one is the SpongeBob text thing. So it like does the alternating capital lowercase thing for like mocking someone or whatever, which is kind of fun. That one I got from this insanely talented dude by the name of Matthew Castanelli. I think that's his last name. I might be butchering it, so sorry. But he actually used to work for the Workflow team. And so he made this amazing video of all these different shortcuts that he has. He has like 900, which I don't understand how that works, how you can even use that many, but he does. And so you should definitely check out his video, link somewhere here or in the description. However, my favorite one is this one where I got the idea from Twitter. My friend Tim Bremer had retweeted or liked or something this one tweet of this idea. I was like, that's genius. And so I went ahead and made it, and here's what it does.
Initiate Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Authorization code Charlie Alpha Alpha Delta 7.
So it's really fun. All you have to do is like create a new shortcut and just have it call whoever or do some basic action. And then you set the Siri shortcut where you record your voice saying something. And then whenever you say that thing, the other thing will happen. So I made it just call my mom. It's really fun. So now the third and final app is this app called Anchor. And what Anchor is, in case you haven't heard of it, it's a podcasting platform. But it's not just any podcasting platform. What they've done is democratize kind of the whole area of podcasting. Now anyone can just download the app, create an account, record something, publish, and they publish it everywhere. iTunes, Google, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Overcast, all the platforms, they publish it everywhere. So it's really awesome. It's completely free. There's no like paid version of the app. It's just 100% free, which I don't understand how that works. I hope it doesn't become paid at some point in the future, but right now it's an amazing, amazing app. I've published my podcast through them. Now I don't record it on my phone. I record it on my podcasting mic and into Logic Pro and do all the mixing and export and then add the metadata and then upload and then schedule and then publish through the website. But I use the app for managing things like stats. I can easily share a podcast episode, things like that. So the app's great for that. You can also definitely record on there. But if you want to check out my podcast, the website is anchor.fm/creative aperture. Link right here, or in the link right here. Last time I was like link right here, but it was like more like here. Anyway, link right here or in the description. And yeah, definitely check it out. If you've wanted to start a podcast for a while, but you didn't really know how or didn't want to spend money on hosting, definitely check out Anchor. It's an amazing, amazing platform. Can't believe it's free. And yeah, I'm not sponsored by them. It's just an awesome platform. Well, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you like cinematic tech videos, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, and I'll see y'all later.